All right, this is one way to definitely get some power on the board. We're going to keep this one. These create different color mana, so we're okay to get at least double green. There we go. We're going to go ahead and I guess it doesn't really matter. So let's go here. No cut down. That's good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can make at least a 5/5. So the question is if we're going to ramp or not, right? I think we're going to make another loam speaker. Or do we just make a 5/5 here? Let's make a 5/5 just so we apply some pressure to the opponent before we ramp, right? I guess we do. We do have leveler. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's ramp this way and we'll attack for 2. Let's see, they could, if they play Emperor to kill our Creeper, I don't think we hate that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to go ahead and play Clear Cutter, and that's going to give us 8 to play Leveler. Yeah, and they're playing to the board, so I feel pretty sweet about our position here. Go here, and then play this guy for 6. All right, next turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If we draw land, we can play Creeper. Okay, so that worked out really... Oh, they're drawing. Okay, okay. So we're going to kill Bankbuster here, I believe. Ooh, going to be able to draw some cards, but we came here to do a thing, and we're going to do that first. Leveler. Blow up the Bankbuster. They're going to draw. That is fine. And now they get a treasure. Not going to attack. So next turn, we're going to... We're missing a green, so I think we're going to go white, white, and then put counters here. Right? That feels pretty good to me. And then hold off on this one to play the other Creeper. We do have to be cognizant of a potential board wipe here. So Leveler is going to get in there. I wonder if we destroy any of our own... Oh, nice. All right, let's go to... Oh, is this an Emperor? That is interesting, isn't it? Is this an Emperor? I guess let's find out. Blow this up. They play the Emperor. Yep. Okay, fair enough. Leveler down. Leveler down. They're back up to 20. Ooh, and they get the cycle. Nice. Nicely done. Okay, so... Blue. 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 And then we still get to play this guy as a big boy, right? Then 1, 2. Go here. Draw 2. That looks pretty good. Triggers, and then at the very least... Oh, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. Let's go ahead and play a big boy. And this guy is... It's exactly 4. So 0. Pay the 4. Yes. And now we have an 8/8. And then we can go white, white, put counters, swing, right? We do have to be cognizant of the Emperor. So I guess maybe because that was the one creature we had with Trample, we should have maybe been cognizant about that. But at the same time, I feel like this deck is going to have a farewell, and they could just do artifacts. Okay, lay down, fair. Attack Serpent into Emperor, then they exile it. Another Bank Buster. Okay. So this is going to be interesting.
Show them how we greet our enemies.
All right, so let's see what we're doing here. I mean, we could dump our hand, but I don't think that's correct. So what are we doing here? What are we doing here? I guess first we attack. See what happens here. Attack here. Fair enough. They're going to chump. And then let's go white, white, green, and green. Go here, and X is 2 more. Yep. And then we'll put a counter here and a counter here. All right, and then let's play. Do we dump our hand here? We can. Why are you tapping that way? Let's. Oh, I see. I see why. Okay, never mind. We didn't need to. Okay, let's go here. Right, and now we have incentivized them to wipe the board here. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. They get to keep their Wandering Emperor, so maybe that was a misplay on my part. We'll find out. Exile that guy. Okay.
For this is what you get for
So that at least lets me believe that they're not going to wipe the board. And now maybe there was a reason for a counter here on the Serpent, because then they can't just do a straight trade with Bankbuster. This is a pretty interesting back and forth. I think if anything, we are going to end up losing to card advantage. Yep. Roger that, opponent. Plenty of chump blockers, no trample. Leveler, gotta love that. So, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let's go to combat first. Swing with our 2 big guys. See what our opponent does, if they have another Emperor or not. They could draw. They could chump block. They have some options. They're going to crew. Okay, so they're going to block and then draw a card. I respect it. I respect it. So hopefully we're going to be in a position where we can leveler the other one, and that takes away some of their card advantage. Smart play. Smart play. I like what they're doing here. All right. Here, let's get rid of the other Bankbuster. They don't have the mana to draw. A little awkward the way it tapped using our Loam Speakers when they were better blockers, but this is pretty solid, man. So looking for any of our blue cards to draw, right? We're going to be able to do a lot of things here. If we draw any of our artifact, our draw engines, both our Serpent and or our Surge engine. Unfortunately, that is not good enough. So let's attack again. If they got it, they got it. Unfortunately, we can't get it back. And I don't want to spend our land, so we're going to attack it this way. Trigger, blow up this guy. Did they draw another Emperor? Alright, doesn't look like they did, so that's good for us, right? If they, like, quadruple block the leveler, I think we're okay with that. Taking down the champion, which is interesting considering the leveler has... Okay. Yep. I can get behind that. So, would not be surprised if this is our board wipe, and that's what we're sandbagging these guys. We have just enough to play them. So, we'll hold off. They've done a really great job of keeping that life total up, man. It's fantastic job navigating this game from the opponent. Yep. Guess we do it. And swing for the fences. Blow this guy up and see what we can do. Alright, Emperor is fair.
Finally, I'm home. You're done.
I mean, even with everything they've got going on, we've applied some serious pressure to them. And we have the ability of making these level here, like getting in there for damage, so we'll see. They've drawn enough cards. They have been making pretty decent use of... Ooh. Wait. Control...
Keep watch for intruders.
Okay. They're gonna draw, I take it. Yeah. Seems solid. Seems solid. And Bank Buster. All right, nice. I mean, we've gotten out-carded. No doubt about that, unfortunately. Could have used the Otawara earlier. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Want to keep our blue sources. So, oops. Let's activate here. Swing with these guys. Keep applying pressure to the opponent's life total. We could even bounce here. I wonder if that's worth it versus playing another dude. We just lose. No, I think we're going to just swing. Let's see if they have another one. Okay. Man, you know what would be great here? All right, that wasn't lethal, so I don't feel bad. Let's see if they have counterspell here. They haven't shown us counterspell this entire time. Okay, fair. But that does mean we have the opportunity, if they don't do something productive here, to actually have lethal. So I like the fact that we've just continued to pressure our opponent. Now, once again, I will say that they have the capability of maximizing these. They are looking for Urza. I would not be surprised if they have an Urza. So let's see what the follow-up play is. They're cycling. Man, they've really used those power stones. So they're definitely not free. Oh, well done. Two dudes is perfect. So it's just enough to not die. Just enough to not die. All right. Do it again. Swing with both. Keep the Otawara for last minute. Let's see if they double block. They are going to be able... Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. Play this guy again. Another make disappear. I guess there's an argument that we could have played it first, I guess. Now they have another blocker. Yeah, this is great. Wow. And maybe that's the mistake. No, because they even had the creature to sack to it. So either way, it was going to get countered. Oh, but I guess if they did that, they wouldn't have had a creature to block. Yeah, I think unfortunately we're just going to end up losing the card advantage. 20 cards. Yeah, so they've drawn 20 cards more than us. That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive opponent, won't lie. Play our land, play our dude. And of note, considering where their life total is at, they have another make disappear. Oh, man. That's so good. So good. Okay. Yeah, that happens. That happens. So what are we looking for? Surge Engine, right? All right. No sense in attacking here because they can just crew up the Bank Buster. So they're going to get the last thing. Okay. Fair. Fair enough. Fair enough, man. This has been a heck of a game. Let's see who's going to pull it off, right? All right. Here they go into the red zone. So they're going to get to draw 2 more cards. So they have just out-carded the living daylights out of us here. And we are flooding, unfortunately. Send it back to the opponent. Companion. All right. Let's see if we can get another one of our card draw engines. At this point, we'll be able to play Surge Engine and almost activate it the same turn. Yep. We are almost dead. Yeah, we've got 1 turn, actually. So I guess we're just dead. Holy cow. Opponent, fantastic job, man. Putting on a clinic of skills right here. And I don't think we have a way of getting that last point of damage. So I wonder if my sequencing was incorrect. Good game. Well played. I guess my sequencing on those guys was incorrect. Or, I mean, yeah, good job. That's all I got to say. They outplayed us for sure.
All right, this seems like a reasonable hand, actually. 1 into 2 into 3. Yeah, I like this. Let's see if this works out for us the way we want it to. We'll like to see some more dual lands, but it is what it is. We'll make it work one way or another. White from the other side of the board could be a plethora of things. We'll see what their second card is. Mono white potentially. All right, let's get in for 1. All right, no pause. That's a good sign. We'll go here. So Lone Speaker gonna survive. So we have access to 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. But we have a Wormlet, so we're gonna go ahead and play the Spider. Though then again, actually, let me see. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Oh man, that was actually a great draw for us. Absolutely great. Nice. So we get to go Wormlet here. And then still play the Spider. That should trigger 2 triggers. Yep. Boom, and then boom. Yes. Nice. Oh, that was... Wait. Is it... Oh, it's only once per turn, right? Yeah, okay. Alright. Good to know. Forgot about that. I guess that would be kind of sick. I mean, not really. We only had 2 Wormlets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we could play this and instantly level it. Okay, so mono white, but we do have reach, so that's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can't level Spider just yet. So the problem is most of our stuff right now is going to be cheap. So we definitely have to consider with lay down arms. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. Oh, destroy evil. All right, fair. Solid play, opponent. Solid play. So we are at least going to level our Wormlet so they can attack into this Stealth Seraph. I think we do. I feel like we do. So let's go here because this is colorless. Trigger, trigger. And then I think we attack. If they want to trade the Seraph, I think we're okay with that. And they do not. They're down. Okay, cool. And then we get to pay 1 and 3 here. It doesn't get haste, right? I'm going to feel silly if it gets haste. Okay, it doesn't. And then we can either draw 3 or play the leveler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we actually can't play the leveler. So yeah, I guess we're just going to draw 6. So hopefully our opponent doesn't get rid of our Surge Engine. Oh, and they tapped out for it. Excellent. Excellent. That is great for us. So it's going to be a close match, right? Because they have the ability of giving it lifelink. So it's not going to be a clean-cut deal. And that also means we don't get to put an artifact into play to allow the Wormlets to trigger into this. But we will... Nope, we also don't get Death Touch. So this is going to be interesting. It's going to be a very interesting back and forth. We'll see if we're able to race this. But like I said, the fact that we get to activate and draw is going to be pretty sweet. So 1 and 2. Another Wormlet. We could play that though, right? That got a lot bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could still play Wormlet here. 1 away, man. Oh, this is going to be pretty close. Alright, so we don't have any 1 mana spells. So I guess we could just activate this first and then tap this if we need to. So let's activate, see what we draw. Lol, that is funny. Alright, Wormlet in play. And then attack here, and we leave these back to block. Alright. We're taking minimum 10 here. Probably going to give them lifelink, right? Artifact down. So, man, I am definitely glad we drew when we did. Holy cow, that was close. That was really close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, Leveler, going to take out the big Seraph. And then hopefully we will swing. They'll probably start double blocking at some point. It also makes it to where our guys don't get Death Touch, which is a little frustrating. Yep, 10 down to 11. They gain back up to 19. Thought we were doing pretty good. I really did. Thought we were doing pretty good. Here, Leveler, trigger. Kill the big one. This is going to be a little annoying. And yeah, they don't have enough for what's her face, so let's attack here. They double block to kill one of them, I guess. Yeah, I don't want like that. That's too easy. So I think we just attack here and keep applying pressure. That's a little dangerous. So when is it trigger? Okay, it's just when it enters the battlefield. Okay. So let's see if they choose to draw a card here. They probably will, right? Give this flying. Okay. So now when we attack, do we destroy the Wedding Announcer or the Steel Seraph? I think we just kill the Steel Seraph. Of course, they also have 3 mana, so we don't have to worry about Emperor here. Loam Speaker, not great. Not great. Ooh, Soaring. This is going to be actually really good for us. So, play a land. Do we crew up a land here? Sure, I guess. And then we have Otawara to protect our leveler. Attack like this, blow up the Seraph. And then if any shenanigans happen with our leveler, we have the ability to bounce it or bounce whatever they got going on, right? I think this feels safe. Would like to see a Blade Cool Serpent, right? We can draw at the very minimum, draw 3. So, yeah, I think I would have been, no, because we have the Soaring City. The question is, like, if they had 4 mana left, I mean, they've gotten a lot of value out of these Wedding Announcements. I've definitely considered potentially, okay, we're okay with this trade. So they didn't or did want to give us a card. Is that it? Okay, let's go ahead and Soaring City. Bounce one of these. And then we get to keep our Wormlets. And now the question is, do we think they have a board wipe or not, right? They double blocked the Wormlet. Yeah, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it because we have the ability to essentially, like, get more Gubu or green mana. Okay, so leveler down. So I guess that would have been... Alright, so we're okay, right? Because they get another blocker, but we get to Paragon. I think their sequencing on that was a little poor. I think their sequencing there... Oh, man, we're flooding out a little bit. So just tap everything. I think we want to tap 1 instead. That way we could still attack with 1, right? Yes, but let me make sure. I think this is the one that we just played. So we go here. This will come into play. Trigger, trigger, trigger. Right? And then pay this guy to activate that and then attack. Nice. Wow. That was interesting. That was a close one. Greetings, my fellow knights and Puntawans. Welcome back to the MTG Struggle Bus, where I, a Jedi, struggle more to play Magic, so hopefully you don't have to. If Simic Ramp is your jam, my friends, then you may have come to the right place, because that's exactly what's on the menu for today. We are trying an artifact-based ramp version of Simic, which is very interesting because in most ramp cases, there are very polarized deck lists, right? You have the ramp mana dorks, your bottom end part of it, the early game, and then you have your payoffs, the big heavy creatures and enchantments and whatnot that you're trying to pay off to. This deck, because we're using some of the new cards from Brothers War, allows us to continue to play Magic throughout our entire curve, regardless if our opponents take out our mana dorks or not. Of course, having them is always better, but if they do get rid of them, we're still able to play. So I think this is a very interesting list. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. Because we are running a handful, or if not a several, or a bunch of artifacts, we are running Teething Wormlet with a fantastic card. It's a 1/1 that gets bigger every time we play an artifact, but it also allows us to gain a little bit of life. So this card just continuously starts getting bigger and bigger and more difficult for our opponent to deal with. Gaining life allows us to have a little bit of a better matchup against aggro. And then when we have 3 or more artifacts, it has Death Touch, which is fantastic in general. We are running the several 2-mana ramp spells. We're running Root Coil Creeper that creates a mana of any color. We don't get to really synergize with its flashback and exile effect, which is unfortunate, but there's a reason why we're running it. and Land and War Loam Speaker, which is a 1/3 that gives us 1 mana of any color. Remember that going forward. But you're like, Jedi, it's an artifact deck. Just trust me. Then we're running 2 Surge Engines because I think this card is great here. Once again, we go back to that point where we could play it early if we have nothing better to do. And then if we do have the ramp for it, then we can play it and then immediately start leveling it. And later on in the game, it ends up being one of our card draw engines, being able to pay 6 for blue to draw 3 cards. So that is one of the reasons why our mana dorks can create a mana of any color. On the 3-drop slot, we're running Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia, which is fantastic because she generates 2 mana of any color. Yes, it can only be played on creature spells, so there's a little bit like a scotch of a non-bow there, but I think once again, the 2 mana of any color is extremely powerful for powering out Surge Engine as well as some of our other top end. Now, Thran Spider, it's actually very interesting here because it is a, once again, 2 sides of it. We could play it early and it does ramp us because it creates a Power Stone. It's a 2/4 reach that's a solid blocker. And then later in the game, we could pay 7, right? When we have the excess mana, we would do that at the end of our opponent's turn and we're able to grab one of our big payoffs from our deck to be able to play it later that subsequent turn. So fantastic card in this, not completely broken, but solid 3/3. And then finally, Cradle Clear Cutter. This card's another good card using Prototype. We're able to play it on turn 3 and give us just 1 ramp, which is fine, right? 1 additional mana. Not super broken, but it's fine. It levels up our Wormlet. But should we draw it a little bit later, or we have our mana dorks early, right, the turns before it, we can actually play this guy for 6 mana, making it a 3/6 that allows us to generate 3 mana. So it really allows us to ramp from 6 to 9, maybe even 10 the subsequent turn should we play our land. So I think this is very well positioned in this deck as well. And the fact that it gives green mana equal to its power will come into play here in a moment. Now, on the 4-drop slot, a little bit of a non-bow and a little bit not. We are running 2 Tameo Completed Sage. Reason being is we're not honestly using her too much for her +1. Yes, it's going to stem the bleeding and get a blocker out of the way or an attacker. But really the big thing for her is the fact that we can minus our mana dorks are so inexpensive. We're running Wormlets, we're running Surge Engines, Loam Speakers, all N3s. So we're able to minus her twice automatically without even plussing her, right, to get these mana dorks back and give us a little bit of resilience. Making a copy of Surge Engine is absolutely fantastic, as well as a Thran Spider, because of the fact that we get their additional abilities coming back. So I think there's a little bit of synergy there. The non-bow is the fact that she can't be played off of Gwenna, right? Gwenna, she's not a creature, so Gwenna does not facilitate that. But once again, that's why we're trying her out. Then here comes the interesting part of the deck. We are running 2 Clay Champions and 2 Blade Coil Serpents. So as you can see, based on the colors of mana you spend to cast these X spells, you are able to generate some kind of value. Now, I will admit, Blade Coil Serpent, once again, going back to Gwenna, Gwenna creates 2 mana of any color, right? So immediately can trigger any one of these effects. Loam Speaker and Creeper do the same thing. So we are able to draw cards is the primary reason we're using Blade Coil Serpent, but if we need to, we can give it haste and or we can make our opponent discard cards. Flip side to that is Clay Champion, right? Mainly putting green into it, so we're able to pump it and make it huge, but in certain cases, we could put white into it and then put the +1/+1 counters on our mana dorks to allow them to either defend better or attack as well if we already are flooding out. Also, a little bit of a bonus there is that we can put the +1/+1 counters on our Clear Cutter and be able to generate more mana off of it. So a lot of interesting synergies. The cool thing too is both of these have X in their mana cost, so we can play them throughout our entire curve. And let's say we draw them very late and we're flooding out with like 12 mana, we can pump 12 mana into these guys. So I think they're very, very useful and an interesting tool to add to this list. Then finally, our top end, we are running a full play set of Cityscape Leveler. I think this card is fantastic. Extremely happy with the way it's been playing out. It is an 8/8 trample that blows up a permanent when it comes into play. Yes, they get a Power Stone. Yes, there are some decks that can capitalize on that, but there are also some decks that cannot. So it's effectively a kill spell on a stick. It has a little bit of resilience because when they kill it, it does have an earth, so we could pay 8 the subsequent turn, comes into play, it kills something, and then it attacks, kills something else, and then it gets in for 8. So a fantastic top end, and then instead of running Titan of Industry, we are running 2 Portal to Phyrexia. It's a removal spell and it gets back all our big beaters. So that is the list. We are not running any creature lands in this list. Pretty straightforward mana base. We probably could sneak in a couple of extra dual lands, but I decided to keep it to where all our lands come into play untapped to center to make sure that we could play stuff on curve. But I can easily see you putting additional dual lands in here, or even off color lands if we wanted to synergize with Clay Champion and Blade Coal Serpent. So like maybe these forests can be something that generates green white if we wanted to. So that could probably be played with. We'll find out. Stick around for the after action review to find out exactly what I felt about the deck. But yeah, I'm super excited. I think this is going to be a fun list, so we'll check it out. But first, before we get into the gameplay, I want to give a shout out to Kevin Pratt. Kevin, thank you so much for being a supporter of the channel and being our latest Patreon member. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate the support. It means a lot. Your kind words have gone a long way towards motivating me to continue to make great videos. So thank you so very much, Kevin. You rock. And this Artifact Simic ramp list is for you, my friend. All right, this one looks great to me. I like this quite a bit. We're going to go ahead and keep this hand. We are able to either ramp, and I think we will. Getting a big dude on 4, at the very least a 5/5 on turn 4 seems reasonable. So we'll keep this, hold on to the engine, lead off with, ooh, look at that, and we get a 1-drop. Okay, so this may be a scenario where we, all right, they have either Consider or Fading Hope. The fact that they didn't consider makes me feel like it is a Fading Hope, so we have to be cognizant of that. We may not go ham as far as putting counters on Wormlet. So I think for the sake of redundancy, ooh, that maybe, I mean, we could kind of blow that up, but I don't want to ramp them just yet. Maybe wait till they put a mana investment into it, right? And next turn they can't do both. So let's take advantage of this moment. And let's us do some ramping. And then that way next turn we have the ability to go champion. And now the question is, do we hold on to the Beseju or not? And I think we do. I don't think we want to let them run away with the game with Surge Engine. Now they're blue-black. Good chance they have removal, right? So we'll take 3 here. So go for the throat. Yes, sir. So next turn they can make this guy a big dude, and there's really no way, since they killed our mana, for us to really kind of capitalize on that fact. So we can simply just play more ramp here. I think that's what we're gonna do. Put a counter here, gain some life, swing in there, right? And then see what they got going on. Most likely we are going to Beseju. If they take their turn off instead of playing the big boy, instead of playing Shielded here, then I think that's a win for us. Infernal Grass, right? Fair enough. They had the correct removal. Let's see what our options are. So we can also Otawara. I think we're gonna go Surge Engine ourselves. So I think we want to play Forest, right? And then go here and here, so we leave up the blue. Play Surge Engine. They can't play Make Disappear. We get a counter here, get some life back, so that stems some of the bleeding. And now we have the ability to both leave up the level effect for the Surge Engine and or Beseju on their Surge Engine if we need to, right? So obviously with a Clay Champion in hand, we would technically like to, well, nope, I think I'm going to wait here. They can't counter the Beseju, and even though shields are down, we want to wait till they potentially spend the 3 mana to level the Surge Engine. And we're going to keep having a pause because we can level our Surge Engine, so it's going to be difficult for them to ID the fact. And we've definitely stemmed some of the bleeding thanks to Wormlet. They've been choked up on mana. They're going to go ahead and go for the throw our Wormlet. Roger that. Now what we want to see is them pay the 3 to level up their dude. If they don't, then I gotta hand it to them. Excellent. Let's wait till they go to combat, I guess. And then we'll be able to level ours twice. Yep, so we'll Beseju here, get rid of that. And then that way they also can't draw the cards. And then 1, 2, 3. I want to be able to put at least 2 sets of counters on here.
Well, I guess we have the 1 blue, so maybe that's what we're going to end up doing anyways. Just make this a 5/5 and put the 1 blue here. Or we can do that. Excellent. So let's go here. Level this guy. They have the Fading Hope, it looks like, so we're going to swing. And this works out well because then we're not overcommitting and we're not time cycling, taking our entire turn. So let's go Gwen. And now they can bounce the Gwenna, but we at least were able to do something with our turn. Still going to hold off on the Otawara. There's really no benefit to us playing it just yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. We will only keep 1 land in hand, though, because we do want to make sure we can play some of our big things. Interesting, interesting. All right, so we're going to attack first. Actually, that's my mistake. We actually should have... So I messed up. I should have thought about it for a second, because with the way our lines are, we can actually leave up triple blue to level this guy. So that was my bad. But that's fine. We'll attack here. They'll take 3. I mean, they have a spell. And it's a 1 mana spell. Oh, I wonder if it's the blue one. We'll take 1 damage. Oh, wait, no, we don't. No, we don't undo that. We actually don't have to. I forgot about that. Green, green, and we will pay Clay Champion. So I definitely did sequence that poorly, unfortunately. We could have definitely done it in a manner where we could have got in for an extra 2. Oh, I wonder... That's interesting. I wonder if there was an argument there to actually pay double white to put 2 counters on these 2. I actually think there was. Ah, okay. So we definitely knew they had the 1 mana. Cool. Excellent. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, I think knowing that they could have had a bounce, that was actually my mistake, and we should have done exactly that, to be completely transparent. So a little unfortunate running early in the game, right? Not being familiar with the deck, but this is sweet. So now we're going to get to level this guy because they're tapped out. We're not worried about anything. So this is absolutely amazing. We're going to level Surge Engine. Awesome. And we still get to keep Otawara. Phenomenal. Let's go ahead and immediately draw 6 before anything happens. And we get our leveler. We're able to play here. So let's go and attack. And then I think we continue to develop our board. Our point goes down to 5. We play a Loam Speaker, so now we have protection should they draw something sweet. And I think we've got this. They literally need to top deck and answer. That's not too bad. That will allow them to draw here, right? At least 1 card. But we got there. Nice, nice. All right, this seems decent. Loam Speaker can ramp us into Tameo, and if not, we have Gwenna to get us to Leveler. So let's keep this one and see where it gets us. Lead off with the old Cascade. That way we potentially have the ability to go 2 colors next turn if we need to. Play the Forest. And... Going to be interesting where we go from here. To be completely honest with you. Alright. We'll block the 1. Take 4 here. Fall down to 14. Yeah, I think... Instead of ramping here, I think we just make a big dude to stem the bleeding. So, yeah, let's go ahead and... Let's auto tap. Green, 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 green. Go here. And X is 0. Make an 8/8. Sure. Alright, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So... Play Tameo, tap something down, right? Wormlet, a little late to the party. We can also double ramp here. So the thing is, do we play Tameo and tap something down? Or do we double ramp? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That will love us Leveler on curve. Could also, once again, Tameo, tap something down. let's go ahead and ramp. We're here because then the leveler can potentially allow us to break the mechanized warfare before we take too much damage here. Granted, they are going to be able to kill everything. Maybe I should have thought about that for a second. Just the fact, ooh, impulse. Okay, do they hit the land? Doesn't look like they do. So that was absolutely amazing for us, to be honest with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's exactsies for a leveler, unfortunately. So we don't get to do Wormlet. But yeah, I think we came here to do a thing, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's bust you up. And then we can still play Wormlet, or we can defend. And I think our opponent calls it up. All right. All right, we are on the draw, but we have our curve. Literally 1, 2, 3, and then hopefully 4, 5. So we're going to keep this lead off with the old teething Wormlet. And because of the fact that we can ramp to 6, we're going to go ahead and play Gwenna. So we're going to go 2, 3. Going up against mono black, you say. All right, let's go ahead and go here. And we'll simply attack for 1, because why not? Next turn, 1, 2, 3, 4. So just going to go ahead and attack. We could potentially... Okay. So Wormlet down.
One of your friends has to leave.
Excellent. This actually works out in our favor. Let's go Gwenna and take down the Liliana. Funny story, they thought the Wormlet was going to be the thing that we protect, but no. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we get to play Cutter for 3. They drew here. That's a good sign. Let's see if they got the cut down. They did not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 shy. We could go like oh, wait a minute. I think this works the way a... Will this untap her? Or it's 5 or more? No, it's 5 or more. Okay. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and get in for 1. Might as well chip damage the opponent while we can. And now we have double insurance that we could play Leveler. Leveler is going to come down, take down the Bank Buster. They're still a little ways away. If this is a shouldered, we are able to Leveler as well. Excellent. Yes. This is working out quite well for the team. You got to appreciate it. We are going to get to untap her. Is it of 1 mana add of any combination? So we do get to Creeper here. So yeah. Ooh, and we get to Thran Spider. Love it. Trigger. Destroy the shouldered. They are going to crew. That is fine. Notice we're destroying it first. Then we get to draw so we don't take 2 damage. We're not necessarily worried about attacking right now. And then let's go ahead and play Spider. Now we are giving them a token, so they are going to be able to activate the Bank Buster for free here every turn. So that is a thing. But now that we're able to activate Thran Spider every turn, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. Our opponent has to destroy our Leveler. We're able to flash it back with Unearth. So it's not completely free, but now at this point, I think we're in a good position to be able to pitch the Llanowar Loam Speaker. We may even just play the 2 Creepers and then attack. This is a pretty strong attack here. We can attack for 16. And there's a ton of different threats now that our opponent has to deal with. So this is looking pretty good for us. They may be considering land into Invoke Despair. And then if that's the case, once again, we'll just pitch the Loam Speaker. Because everything else has more advantage. Both they do more damage. Oh, this is great.
I bring order.
Ooh, that definitely can't be the right call for our opponent. Can we kill them? So if we crew the land... This is going to be... Hold on, opponent. Give me a second. So, 10... We're... Oh, yeah, we got him dead. Oh, excellent. Excellent. So, wait. Undo. Let's turn a creature into an elemental. And then we go to combat. Swing the team at you. And Leveler kills this dude, and I believe that is G to the G, homie. Nice. This could be a risky keep. This could be a risky keep, but we do get to go 2 into 3. I am going to keep this. I'm going to keep this. We're on the draw, so we have a chance to gain a land. Okay. So Spider may do some work here. Lead off with the Forest, and then we'll play Creeper. Creeper will die. Then we get to play Spider. Spider will be able to block. And then we can make use of the Power Stone, but they cannot. Sticky Fingers. Okay. Well, we knew the Creeper wasn't going to block anyways, so we'll see what else our opponent does if they go ham on the Sticky Fingers. So, yep. Gonna play the only play we have. They have access to Lightning Bolt and Play with Fire. No play. Well, I guess they wanted to do it on their turn, so they get the Prowess ticker. That's a little scary. Alright, fair enough. Taking the damage. That's really solid on their part. Very solid. So, 1, 2, 3. The Spider kind of does the same thing, and it can block here, versus the Cutter cannot. So, let's play the Spider. And now the question is if we're going to leave back the Creeper to double block or not, right? And I think we have a chance of getting blown out, though. Especially them getting all the treasures. That's a little unfortunate for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we leave it back. Only for the threat of blocking, but I don't think we're going to be completely honest with you. Because we have the ability of going Clear Cutter, and then that's going to let us play Leveler, and that may be the mechanic that we need to get back into this. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean... Unfortunately, that's going to work out really well for them. Yep. We may just be dead here, unfortunately. Very solid start from our opponent. And that is the slight unfortunate thing about us not having removal, right? Or interaction. But it is what it is, my friends. It is what it is. Take 5, fall to 4. Never mind. Good game. Nicely done, opponent. Nicely done. Nicely done. Well played.
This is actually a pretty interesting hand. Because we have Wormlet on turn 1, but no artifacts to level with it. We have Gwenna, but she can't ramp us into Tameo. That's interesting. So I think we actually mulligan this. And this is significantly better. So we'll keep this, and let's see, 2 to this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Without knowing, like, I always assume one of these is going to die, so I kind of want to keep them. But I think we also want one of our payoffs, so I go ahead and tuck a Root Coil Creeper. We're going to lead off with the Cascade. Alright, well, Creeper down. Alright, that's something. That guy can allow us to not only ramp, but also puts up an okay blocker. I'm really gonna look for one of our X spells here if we can. Try to get some extra power on the board. If we can get... Alright. So, probably gonna trade off the Creeper because we have 2 3s to play. Or we have a bunch of 3s. So, if they kill the Creeper, alright. We're gonna play the Spider because it still will ramp us and allow us to block profitably. So we'll see, but we will trade off here the Creeper versus the Kumano if they don't have it. All right, they do. Fair enough. So taking 8, half our life total, and let's see. All right. So I guess it's kind of the same thing. Well, this doesn't get burned out, so this is interesting because we could play Gwenna that lets us play this. Actually, no, never mind. Because we need a block. So her tapping to play this is not going to be great. The difference is it would allow us to play these 2 things. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we could play 2 blockers. I'm not sure. I think it can go either way, honestly. But I think the fact that this can survive a lightning bolt is probably good enough. Yep. Block here. So at the very least we get something out of the way. They're going to lightning bolt it. Then we're going to take a 5. No, alright. Down to 1. Wormlet. That actually may help a little bit, believe it or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I guess we go Wormlet and then go here. And at the very least, it gains us a life. But, I mean, they have 3 cards in hand. Pretty sure we're just dead. We're going to leave back all 3 blockers just because they could have a haste, could have another Swiss Spear, and yep. That's all she wrote. GG. On to the next one. Alright. Going first. Don't have a 2-drop, which is a little unfortunate, but I guess we're going to keep it because we have plenty of stuff to do. Lead off with the Dream Root Cascade. Comes into play tapped. We have the we're probably going to go ahead and play the Coast on 2. And it looks like we may potentially be going against blue. Alright, blue-white control. Fair enough. Reality chip. Interesting. So let's go ahead and do the Gwenna. 1, it gets underneath the radar right now. But 2, should we draw land, then we're capable of drawing up to 3 cards here. And we're playing a cutter. Okay. Gwenna down. Fair enough. Opponent didn't have a follow-up play. So either of these are ramp. So I guess let's potentially do... Doesn't really matter. Maybe if they have bounce, we still get to keep the spider. So let's do that. We don't get the color though, so that is a thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Missed the land drop as well. Seeing the other clear cutter, not fantastic here. Opponent missing a land drop. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Oh, let's do the cutter here. No attacks, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play a cutter for 6, and then that will allow us to ramp out the leveler. See if they get a land off the top. They do. They did make use of the token. Look at that. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and leveler here. And then hold, and then now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can even do shenanigans here. We'll eat up the reality chip. We don't want them to play too many cards off the top. Never mind. Well, you're gonna go ahead and eat Urza here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so I guess we have to go here and here. Do it while... Bummer. That's unfortunate. Well, my friends, that is the deck. And yeah, I gotta give this one a 2. And the reason being is that it just isn't well positioned against mono red. And we're going to see that in the ladder, right? Mono red is very predominant, just like soldiers are. And so I think because of that reason in particular, this deck has a hard time being a 3. That being said, wasn't really impressed with Tamiyo or the Phyrexian Portal. So I think we're going to revisit this. I definitely do. I think I'm going to revisit it a little sooner rather than later. Yeah, we just didn't... Like, it's funny, this deck is I felt very polarized when we were playing this list. I think we either were winning and our opponent can't do anything about it, or we were losing and we were just behind the whole game, right? The lack of life gain from leveler, the destruction ability is fantastic, right? And ironically, we actually came across a couple of decks that were able to use the Power Stone, so it wasn't even like clean removal. And we still were on top. Tamiyo just not being able to play off of Gwenna is a little awkward, and we really never got to a position where we got to play her N-, which is what we were running her for. I think just making 2 more clay champions is probably even better, to be completely honest with you. I like to play Coal Serpent, and so maybe we revisit this without the... Oh, if it's not the blue, what do we do? We might revisit this with a different color. I'll have to look and see what the other X-Spells are, right? Or is it just these 2? Because I guess that covers all 3 colors. But Phyrexian Portal, we never... 9 is a lot, man. 9 is a lot to just straight ramp into. So I think what we should do going forward, I think these should just be 4 clay champions, right? Because we can perfectly fine paying them on 4, and we're perfectly fine with them being somewhere up the curve. And then I think we could probably cut 2 Root Coil Creepers for 2 Surge Engines. I think it kind of takes the ramp aspect out of it, but the fact that half of our ramp is on 3, I think is very relevant. And then the And then these two should be Titans. I think if we go 3 levelers, 3 Titans, and then these are creepers, and then maybe cut these two, and then interaction. There we go. It's probably what we need as well, is a little bit of interaction, whether it's like negates or maybe just Tamio safekeeping, right? So I do think we're going to revisit this. Maybe the white is relevant. Maybe we should just be green-white ramp, and then that way we can turn our mana dorks into beaters later. Yeah, I think that actually is a consideration, to be completely honest with you, and just not necessarily worry about the card draw, because that's more or less the only reason we're running blue here, is to draw cards off of Blade Coil Serpent. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that should actually be the list. We could still run blue and just make it to where the Blade Coil Serpents are just straight, are 4 of, right? That's our top end. It's a consideration. It's interesting. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Very intrigued to figure out how this plays out. But yeah, yeah, the thing is, between these two, like, I had a hard time including creature lands, and maybe that's a thing because gives us a little bit of board wipe security. It kind of stinks that we're not able to capitalize on the backside of Root Creeper, but once again, I wanted to make sure we had the critical mass of it. So there's definitely some room to play here. I was a little punished without the interaction. I think that hurt us quite a bit as well. I was really relying on the Wormlets to do a lot of work, and sometimes I didn't quite get there. So I think a 2 for this list. I think it has potential, as you guys saw in the gameplay, but I don't think it's really well positioned in this meta right now. So hey, they can't always be a winner, and I did the struggle busing for you. So you guys already got your answers. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really do appreciate you guys. It means a lot. If you made it this far in the video, please do consider dropping a sub. I really would appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And yeah, until next time, as always, my friends, happy gaming.